was hoping for another Bug Snacks cut.
There was
Strawberry
one.
fizz, baby.
There was a couple, but one more.
I'm ready for Donkey to make that his like.
Yeah. Bug Snacks 2, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are. We're back.
What's happening? What's happening with y'all? I mean, we had a little session
long
to chop it
time.
up, but I still missed y'all.
Yeah.
Fuck, my
Likewise.
brothers are back.
You know,
We're back.
good to be here. Very happy to be
We're
here.
live. Yeah, and it's
Live.
like we're always like, we're back. It's been a while, but like, we're back, and it's been a while.
It
and
has
shit's been real.
Yo,
Like-
beyond. It's literally a different world from the last time
Yeah.
we did this.
Yeah, no doubt.
Crazy. And it's ever changing in real time at that, too, which is exciting to me. But, you know,
Absolutely.
it's nice to do this, to have
Yeah.
like a reprieve from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last.
Seriously.
What? When's the last time we saw each other? I want to say like.
Physically,
Like March, maybe?
since at
March,
least since
yeah.
March. I mean, like
Yeah.
since I started working from home, I haven't been down here.
Yeah.
We've done some virtual stuff, but yeah, it's
Our
been a
last
minute.
roundtable discussion was March 7th, I believe, according
Okay,
to the
so
channel.
it's been
so
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
3
over
months
3 months.
plus. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, it's
Yeah.
good to see y'all.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
likewise.
been crazy. But yeah, should we make a statement? I mean, about the state of things. I mean, like, of course, we're here. This is our as a metaphor, our treehouse to get away from things. Of course,
Yeah,
we talk about
for
shit.
sure.
But I mean, like, I feel like this is like a historic time. Maybe we should just
Oh yeah, by
Yeah,
all
swing
means.
the
I
Band-Aid
know.
off.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the midst of one of the most historic
yeah.
instances we've ever been a part of. We've lived through
Yeah.
some stuff in our generation
Right.
too. You know, from September 11th,
Yeah.
and all, you know, recessions. We've seen a lot of different things. This is our second pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is way worse than the last one, but it's our
Yeah.
second one, and it's combined with everything going on with racial tensions and rioting and the police brutality. And honestly, I feel like it's a long time coming that we needed to shake things up. Things were kind of getting way too askew as far as the
Agreed.
balancing of the scales. And
yeah.
this country's set up in a way that it needs revolution built into it, and that was stated at the foundation of it. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see that
Yeah.
we're trying to do right by the people's ideas of the country,
Yeah.
not so much one class of people's ideas
Yeah,
of the country.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we were mentioned, I was talking to you earlier about Dave Chappelle's thing. It's
Yeah,
the
846.
streets are talking. The streets are talking. You
Yeah.
know, and yeah. I mean, we're not going to go too deep into this, but I feel like I just wanted to make it known where we stand, and just power to the people. Let's keep it moving. We're on the right track. I feel like this is just great. It's great to see this movement happening. I mean, it's been insane. I mean, I don't think anybody likes to see like the destruction and the mayhem, but I mean, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Is that
True.
the right metaphor?
No, it
I don't
is.
know.
It
I don't
is.
know.
That's putting it nicely.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
putting
yeah.
it nicely.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, you know, and it's we were talking about it before as well, but it's nice to see the support worldwide. Like, you know,
Yeah.
countries around
Yeah.
the world are kind of all coming together and showing that, you know, we're sick of the corruption, you know,
Yeah.
and we see it
Yeah.
everywhere. And you know, it's a year in which people are starting to really, like, you know, let themselves be heard.
Yeah,
So
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2020.
Yeah.
Moving forward is the future. We're in the future now. Like, you know, Back to the Future. They went to the future. We're in that future.
We're beyond that
We're
future.
in. Well, we're in like that weird like 1985, but like it's 2020, and it's just I don't know. Hey man, I don't know. We're on this together, and I think we're gonna get through it though.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've
Yeah.
never made it a point of emphasis on the show to point this out, but it makes me
Yeah.
happy that we have a diverse set on here too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've never
Yeah.
even made it a thing because we're just boys and we like doing what we do.
Yeah.
But this being the case, it makes it happy that we live in a world to do this, and that's
Yeah.
going to foster more things like this.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about all our stuff, but we have a platform. I just wanted to make it known. We didn't even talk about this. I just wanted to bring it out. I just
Yeah, I'm
wanted
glad
to-
you did. No, I'm glad
yeah,
you did too.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
we had a
Yeah,
nice
might as well.
conversation about it
Yeah.
before the cast, and
Yeah.
I know we all care about the world, and we all care about the future of it. You know,
Yeah.
and
We all want what's best for each other ultimately,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So just stick together, keep your friends close, keep your family close, and, you know, hold on.
yeah, real talk. Yeah. Love your loved ones. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
family or otherwise. Just love them, and your fellow human. You know, that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And on this note too, before I just put it out there, so on I didn't mention this to y'all, but Tuesday at 6, I'm gonna be on this on AZ Metro News. We're gonna be streaming
Nice.
a little thing with Tim Sees, a mayoral candidate.
Cool.
I'm gonna be
Nice.
one of the people throwing some questions at them and having a
Very
conversation
exciting.
about kind of the social situation right
Hell
now.
yeah.
So I'll put that out there because anyone wants to check it out, it'd be worthwhile and
Yeah.
further the dialogue on this,
Yeah.
man.
Yep.
100%.
Speaking of dialogue,
Yeah.
we got a lot of dialogue
to talk
on a lot of stuff. Man,
I mean, like, aside from the fact that we haven't talked, like, in person in 3 months and we have a lot to just catch up on in general, this has been a momentous week. I mean, we just played the sizzle reel. Y'all saw what happened. There's a bunch of shit happening in the PlayStation universe, and it all looks pretty fucking good. And we're going to talk about it. Before we talk about it, do we want to get into, like, what we've been doing?
we can briefly, we can for sure.
Because we got some clips lined up. We got like a lot, like the whole show pretty much, like the stuff we want to talk about lined up. But before we hop into that, let's just talk about like what we've been doing. I mean, like it's been quarantine. Everybody's had lots of time to play, you know. So, what have you guys been playing?
Oh God! So I started with Animal Crossing.
That's right.
I asked for 10 days off, and I got closer to 100.
I almost spit up my drink.
I forgot you did that, bro. That's hilarious.
You got vacation time right before quarantine.
Got close to
Perfect
100.
timing. Perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah. Hey, bro, careful what you wish for. You might get all of that.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I love Animal Crossing. I'll rip this Band-Aid off. New Leaf is better, I think. I love New Horizons, but I think New Leaf started off with more content, I guess I should say, instead. New Horizons is probably going to become a better game than New Leaf eventually. I just don't think it's quite there yet. It's like I put in I'm not at 200 hours yet. I'm like at 180 hours, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with where I am and the progress of the game for now, and there's a lot more that I could do, but I'm just going to put that off for now and give myself some time, some breathing room, and I'll come back to it.
And that's one of those games that grows roots.
Yeah.
You start it and you play it, and it's not just like a game like you beat it and you're done.
Exactly. Exactly.
You keep playing it and you grow with it. And
yeah, it's gonna be a journey that'll be a multiple year thing, just like every Animal Crossing before it. And I'm cool with that. That's kind of the whole deal. But it was nice to burn through a few hours and hours and hours of just grinding and getting the island all ship shape and stuff. And I still there's a lot more that I can still do. But at the same time, gosh, I have a friend who has been playing and he's been trading online and stuff, and he has like some really rare stuff. So it was really cool to see his island in progress, and he's still working on it, but it looks really good. It's a fun game, but I'm glad that I've been burning away some of the backlog as well. I beat Half-Life 1 and 2 and Episode 1 and 2. I just finished downloading Half-Life Alyx. So
I'm so excited. We talked about it a little bit before we started, but it really is the best that VR has to offer at the moment, like as far as like the total package. And man, I want to talk about it with people that I talk about video games with.
Yes.
So I've talked about it to like strangers, like on the internet, like in VR chat and stuff,
Yeah.
and like I've told people like, oh, it's really good, but I haven't like really talked to that many people who've played through the whole thing, and it is.
We might have to dedicate a segment to it, like we did The Witcher 3 way back in the day.
When you guys have both completed it, I want you guys both to play through it. And now that we reestablished my game library, with your system, download it, play it. Just it's really not that long. It's like 12, 13 hours ish, depending how much time you take. You could do it in 10 if you speed through it. I mean, but the first time through, man, it is. There's that game sequence, and I've told you guys about it a little bit. Chapter 7, though. It's the game design is. You guys need to play it because I have to like not say anything.
Okay, you're
and
good,
it's
you're
so
good,
hard.
You're good. No, I get it. I can't say I get it, but it's like you
No,
said that it's Half-Life, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in that sense, I can say I think I get it because it's like I just beat all those my first time, and it was a very fresh experience, and it was Half-Life 2 is like that's a 10 out of 10 game. That's awesome, way ahead of its time. Still holds up to this day. Once I turned every time I booted up the game for the first time. Well, the first time I played Half-Life 2, it took me a while to realize, but then I went into the settings and I changed the resolution, and then I saw how much better it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was nice. And
Man, that'd be cool to get some remaster treatment.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it
cool.
is what it is. It's like Half-Life 2 is good.
The first Half-Life has a remaster, or like a remake, in fact. The source Half-Life, or the what is it called? Black Mesa, right?
Black Mesa, yeah.
So there is that, and I mean, I get it, but I mean, I was okay with Half-Life 1, just the original. Honestly, it's still. I mean, I get it. It's a little aged visually, but it was actually story and presentation wise, like just as, I mean, ahead of its time as well. Actually.
Yeah, it's still compelling. Like you get into it and like the textures are like really pixelated, but like
the
like going
and the
through
story,
and like the level design, like you go through and like you don't feel like you're on a straight track, right? But like you are, but like that's the way
that's the way the level design kind of makes you. I mean, the Black Mesa lab and everything, and getting through it while everything's going down. It's just like they did a really good job with it. I'm really glad I played the first one through because it's really good.
Yeah,
very good.
Awesome
franchise. I think Half-Life Alyx is going to be just groundbreaking. I just hope the loading screens aren't as long as Asgard's.
No, they're not that bad. Yeah. Oh, I haven't played Asgard's, but I thought you were
loading screens are the only thing that's kept me away from getting deeper into that game. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not bad. I mean, like each chapter has a loading screen, but like it's like 10 to 20 seconds to like just load up, and it loads the menu.
Yeah, and that's
like
the same for like Half-Life 1 and 2.
Yeah,
so it's like whatever, no big deal. I think they were longer for me for Half-Life 2, but Half-Life 1 it was pretty quick. It was like loading, done. And you're on you go.
But yeah, while we're on the Alyx topic, the modding tools have been released. I think we talked about it a little bit in VR, but it's grown a lot. I mean, there's hundreds of Half-Life Alyx mods out there now.
That's cool.
And it's only going to get better, man. I mean, this is the future. I mean, they're releasing shit. I mean, this is how Counter-Strike became a thing, is from Half-Life modding tools back in the day. And Half-Life Alyx is a whole nother level, and when you go through it as you play it, you'll see it's just the fidelity of the assets and the refinement of the controls, and as well as the immersion with just the interaction of objects. Like when you pick up a can, you can pick up the can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know.
And I mean that was even the case in Half-Life 2 when you play it through the first time. It's like, how many games in 2004 could you actually pick up every like inanimate object that was around you and like use within the physics of that game that actually wield the suspension of disbelief for the player. Yeah. So it's very cool. It's very Valve.
Crush the can.
You can crush the can. I like that. I mean, God, now I kind of wish I had an index because then I could really.
You can still do it. I think it's just like
it's just the trigger, and it's just it would feel a lot more realistic. I expect if you're doing it on the index.
I mean, it's you got some like pressure, but really, I mean, like it's still so refined. Like every interaction is just perfect, and like as I play through it, there's nothing that you miss with these three fingers. There's a small piano segment, or there's a room where there's a piano you can play, but like you can't really go up to it and like adjust the span of your fingers, which is really important for piano playing.
Yes,
so like it's not easy to just like play in tune.
You just gotta,
it's really you gotta you gotta just kind of like peck out your lines or whatever. But dude, I'm excited for you. It's great. Half-Life Alyx is the best.
I'm excited.
You went through the whole series because seeing the whole evolution, like Half-Life to Half-Life 2, is a big jump.
Yes, it is.
And then Half-Life 2 to Half-Life Alyx is like the.
Oh man, that's
several
exciting.
generations.
Yeah.
You rarely get to see that happen.
Exactly. Well, I mean, let's see. I'll just rip off what what else have I been playing? Stardew Valley, very fun. Gets it, it makes up for the Animal Crossing fix, and
there's a lot of crossover.
It's I mean, it's really good. $15. Yeah, I'm gonna double dip probably and get it on the Switch so we can get a farm started, and we'll figure out if we can stream that or post videos or something.
We can do it.
And we'll let's see. I've been playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch. I played Generations on the 3DS, but Ultimate has more monsters, and it was $20, and really good remaster of a 3DS game. Looks really good visually, I think, but it's not Monster Hunter World. It's just it does have 3 times the amount of monsters than Monster Hunter World, though, so there is that. I mean, yeah. roughly. Anyway, let's see. What else have I been playing? Overcooked 2. I replayed Grand Theft Auto 5 once it came out for free on Epic Games.
Hell
Runs like butter.
Yeah.
Super smooth. Kind of want to get Red Dead 2 now.
Yes.
You should.
Do it.
That'd be good. I think I would like that.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, and I think that's really it, I guess. I mean, now that I kind of fixed my VR, I had some sound issues. Now that I've kind of fixed it, I'm back on Thrill of the Fight and Super Hot and everything.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. All I'll say is play through Alex in case you start experiencing audio issues later.
Yeah.
Because I had my left index controller started getting drift issues like
Yeah.
right after I beat Alex, and I was so happy because
yeah.
like I beat the game with a flawless controller, and I've already gotten a replacement. Which I don't know if I talked to you guys about that. It was really great. Like the Valve was awesome about replacing it. I put it in a ticket within 72 hours. I had gotten like the process started to send me a replacement, and I've got my returns shipped back, and I haven't sent it back yet. Valve, I'm sorry. There's a pandemic going on, and like a lot of shit. So I haven't gotten out of the house, and like I work kind of like weird hours, so haven't gotten to the FedEx yet. I went to the UPS store, and I was like, hey, and they're like, hey, that's FedEx, and I was like, oh, fuck. So I forgot about it. Like corporations, I was just like, package.
Yeah.
You do packages. like take it. And like I walked in, I was like, huh? And he was like, dude, like he looked at the label immediately and was just like, I'm sorry, man, like we're UPS. That's a FedEx label. And I was like, you know what? I'm wearing a mask, and I'm just like, oh, thanks, man. See you later. Sorry. And yeah.
Give you a mess. You gotta,
Felt pretty dumb.
Be as embarrassed to go through.
Yeah.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, gotta take it back still. So Valve, it's coming. It's ready. But yeah. Anyway.
That's dope. And you bring up a good point on that too, man, because I mentioned that cord fiasco I had.
Yeah.
And Fred sending out his cord.
Yeah.
Shouts to my boy Fred. Thank you very much for sending that out. Man, we go back, but I appreciate you.
Hey,
Love you,
no,
man.
I remember you, man. We played some Echo back in the day.
Yeah,
A little bit.
Yeah, my man, Durf. Yeah, send out the Oculus cord, lifesaver, original riff. If you struggling with that, man, I feel your pain because it ain't helping us out. But I need to get the Alex in and done before.
Yep.
Make it happen.
So we're gonna have that conversation soon.
Yeah.
I'm starting tomorrow. I'm ready.
Just grind it, dude. Just
Yeah.
it's. I mean, like I want to do it again, but I have anxiety and PTSD, and I'm just waiting for the right moment when I have the courage and like it's the right moment. But it's like it's so good because like it's not brutal. It's got the right level of jump scares, and like the atmosphere is not that bad. It's not like the PT or anything.
Should I play standing up or sitting down?
Standing up for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you want to like really be able to like interact with your shit.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You can play it sitting down, no
Yeah,
problem. But because you got the gravity gloves. I mean,
Yeah.
you can really do like most of the stuff you need. But for the most part, I would say, I mean,
It's Half-Life in VR. You
Yeah.
want to immerse yourself a little more.
yeah,
You might as well. That
absolutely.
makes sense.
And like just ducking and all that shit. Yeah. I want you guys to play through that ASAP.
I might stream that bitch, man.
Yeah, dude, do it. Because I was gonna do it, but I was just like, I want to just. This is for me. And and another thing, you have to at the end of it play and watch through the whole credits.
Okay.
Like, watch all the credits.
Okay.
Watch all the credits. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm ready for that Counter-Strike VR to pop up any minute.
Oh, that would be something we'd have to stream.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling like that's inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would that not happen?
Oh, that's
Letting
dangerous,
this is
man.
what Valve wanted to happen. Hey guys, we don't want to make Counter-Strike, but we want it to exist.
Yeah. So can you do it again?
Yeah.
Like,
In VR though.
Yeah.
You guys can really shoot each other. Oh,
No, it's gonna be nuts, dude. I mean, the future's bright. Now that we have these tools, we have these assets. They gave all the prefabs and like all the levels. Like, it's there. It's there for everybody to play with, and it's looking good.
That's exciting.
Oh,
It's
man.
very exciting.
Let's go. Hell yeah, man. Well, shit, on the games front for me, I've been all over the place, bro. I think the one I played the most consistently during all this is Maneater.
Maneater.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I was going to get that game. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I got to be a shark. Man, Shark Week, Discovery Channel way back, bro. I was a shorty. Something about them. I love them. And then that came out. I was like, I'm doing that, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. It's the most ridiculous, over the top thing you've ever done. I have a shark that can like teleport and shit. You know what I'm saying? You power it up. You can, It's
Normal shark
evolution,
stuff.
Zach. Don't look like that. It's the way of nature. Okay?
Normal shark
evolution.
things.
Okay.
That's what God intended.
Yes, bro.
For
Just think about it.
sharks.
They weren't scary enough. Now they can teleport. But no, then you can augment that shark in so many crazy ways, man. You can like give it bone, fins, and teeth, so it can break boats better. Fucking has an electrified body, so you can shock things around you, and you can tell it. The funniest shit to me to do in that game is to grab either a person or an animal, right? You can literally, if you hold the left bumper, it'll bring up a reticle as things slow down, and you can tail whip whatever you're holding into like a target. So you just have a person, you just launching it, and they have switches that open gates. That's how you open them. Shit like that. And the whole premise of the story is, let me put this on silent too. Is you're on this reality show. They're following. It's kind of like The Deadliest Catch, but like a golf-based version, following the shark fisherman. And they show the opening cutscene. He catches your mom, and you start the game as the mother shark. You're like a fully evolved shark to kind of show you the capabilities. Then he catches it, and then he cuts the baby shark out of it. The baby shark takes his arm off, and that's when he starts his vendetta. And, you know, he marks it so he knows what shark it is, and then you just kind of have a lifelong interaction with this guy throughout the game. But they have little like side events where it's like, hey, go terrorize this beach real quick. Eat 10 people. We'll give you some points for it. You know what I'm saying? Just shit like that, man. It's been a great time. And the oceans, I like the way they've done. You have kind of like bayou areas where it's murky waters, just like crocodiles and all that stuff. And then you get into more like a city, like inlets and stuff like that. But then you get into more open ocean. So they have like really distinct areas with different wildlife and all of that. And it's surprisingly deep. I didn't expect as much. I thought I was just buying the game to be pretty much just a mayhem maker with a shark. But it's great, man.
Yeah,
it's
great.
It's $40. It's not a full price game, you know, but I've played it more than some full price games.
Yeah, as long as you're getting your money's worth. I mean, you know, you get the cost of entry, as long as it pays for itself, right?
Yeah. And I'm at the end of Final Fantasy VII now.
Nice.
I almost don't want to finish it because I'm just
know
sad.
the feeling.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm at. I'm like,
You kind of get why I'm waiting now.
like there's the Shinra building, and this is the part I lightweight was looking forward to the most in this whole part of this Midgar saga.
You gotta dive in.
I do. And luckily, I have like 20 side quests. Right when you get to that, they just hit you with a shitload of side quests you can do.
Nice.
And I've been going through the whole game doing all the side quests. So I gotta do all those.
Nail
too.
it down. Yeah, get that shit done.
So that's where I'm at. I'm at that nostalgia part, or that nostalgic, like emotionally. I've already been through this once where it was over before, you know. But yeah, I got there. What else? I've been messing with GTA and RDR2 just to mess around.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 4 is a good
Okay.
time, so I've been on that too. But yeah, man, I think that's been the majority.
You mentioned Halo, right?
Yeah, I've been playing through.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been going through. My goal with this was to start with Reach and play all the way through. But every time they drop a new one, because Halo 2 was the latest one to drop. And
Yeah,
I was like,
Halo 3 is right
they're
around the
churning
corner.
them out, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
they
I
really
love
are.
They got their pace set, and dude, it wasn't long.
They're making
ago.
it happen. I love it.
and they're good, man.
Yeah.
That Halo 2 drop was horrific.
I haven't played Halo 2 yet.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I played the collection on Xbox One when it first dropped. Obviously, it's not the same hardware. But I feel like they went above and beyond with these PC ports, man. It's and when you switch, I love that you can switch on the fly between
Exactly.
the old graphics
I was gonna
and
say,
Press
the new.
tab.
It's
and that's all it
insane.
takes. It's really impressive. And I mean, they did it on the Xbox One as well. You just press like left on the D-pad or
Just to
something.
select or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
on the-
It's insane. I mean, like the fact that they're able to just pop out like all the textures and geometry, whatever, post processing and shit, just right on the fly.
the audio too.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that on Xbox.
Oh,
I noticed
wow,
that on
yeah.
here. I was like, oh my god, they changed everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's
nuts.
just awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving that Master Chief collection.
It's
I'm
so
loving it.
good, man.
It's great. So good to have it on PC.
I think
And-
it's awesome.
They had the opening cutscene for 2 when you open it.
Oh, yeah.
It had Locke in there from Halo 5.
Dang, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was the Arbiter talking with Locke.
Nice.
And I was like, so are they gonna what are they doing with this?
Establishing some continuity.
You know, I like that a lot. And the fact that
I'm
doing
down with
that, are they gonna port 5 to the PC as well? I don't know because I played that
fucking
one.
better, dude.
Yeah,
fucking better.
It would be nice if they did.
I think
5 is my least favorite. I will say that,
but it's not a bad game.
Yeah, no, but it's still my least favorite Halo.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not that excited about it, but just get it all together.
Get it all together.
there.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And the multiplayer has been improving over time for Halo 5. I will definitely say that. I've seen the playlists and everything, and they really did add a good amount of content over the past few years. And it is a fun game. I think the multiplayer is stronger than the campaign, though.
Well, the campaign was just joining, and that's one of those things, kind of like Metal Gear 2. You know, like, I'm here to be Master Chief, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me lock. Like a lot of people don't rock like that. You know what I mean? They came here for a reason. They want that fulfilled.
Yeah.
I was more open to it just because I was like, okay, whatever. This is.
I kind of like Locke. I like the actor that they got as him, and I like the design and everything. I don't think they handled the characterization of anyone right in the story. To be honest,
they did kind of fumble it, but I mean the action of playing it and all that, I dug.
Yeah,
and I did see kind of how they were rendering stuff on the Xbox, how they had to take these little tricks and stuff to make it happen. I'd love to just see that thing running without any concessions.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
That would be awesome.
That would be a fun experience.
It would look really good on any of our setups, I think. That would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah, man. For me, that's about it, man.
We're gonna
on those. What about you?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, I mean, I'm just gonna say it. We'll get it out of the way. Skyrim VR. Hey guys, I play Skyrim VR. Do you guys know that? I like Skyrim.
Related network.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I have not a lot lately. I went through like early in the pandemic. I was like, hey, I got all this time. I'm gonna start doing some more modding, and and started just doing more shit and just still cleaning things up. But I kind of taking a break. There's a few mods that I know are like in the works that I'm just kind of waiting for them to like come out with before I really dive back in. I know there's like a big some physics reworks that some guys are working on. So I'm like a combat mod. I don't know exactly what it will entail, but like I don't know. I'm just continually impressed by the modding community's efforts with this game, and it just grows and ages like a fine wine. So I will always be playing Skyrim VR
awesome.
until I die.
It's gonna come out on every system until you die. So you have the option.
Yeah, 100%. But aside from that, I mean, I've also been playing, a bunch of Star Citizen. I know I've been talking about that a lot lately, but they had Fleet Week a couple weeks ago, and it was pretty fun. It was a free-to-fly event, and they had like a bunch of ships to fly for free. But it was cool. But the problem with Fleet Week is like the servers get really overloaded, and things can be less stable.
Yeah.
It was rough at the start, and then it got better, and some days were worse than others, but I had a good time. I flew some ships I hadn't flown before and just, fucked around and had a bunch of fun with my crew. Nice. And still been playing a bunch with the rest of the crew. We got, more recruits, the organization's growing, and, we're just getting shit locked down. We do a lot of, like, formal operational stuff, like, and we have, like, ranks and, positions, and we work stuff out, and we try to when the game is out, we're gonna have our shit together. But the game's coming along. 3.10 update comes out soon. 3.9 just came out like a couple weeks ago, about a month and a half ago. It's a little late. It's supposed to come out in March. But man, the game keeps growing. They keep polishing shit, adding more and more systems. The roadmap looks really good. Really, really excited to see what they're adding. And I want to do like a feature and like kind of show you guys more about Star Citizen. I know we're talking about doing like a stream thing, but it's hard to explain because it's so like it's got such a big scope, and it's not like a lot of other games, but it's a really good sandbox at the state it's in right now. And as they keep adding to it, I'm more and more impressed. And I'm glad I invested in it, and I've got a game package, and I'm just gonna keep playing. It's still fun. I've also been playing a little bit of Ark. Some of my Star Citizen buddies got some Ark too. Yeah, Ark is also free right now on Epic Game Store if you guys don't have it.
I might have to.
Epic gives away a lot of games.
They've been on a roll lately.
Holy
I got Borderlands 2.
I know,
they started with Grand Theft Auto 5. Dude, Epic is starting to. I'm very happy with it. It's like, they're starting to be competition for Steam.
Just get all the free games. That's my opinion. Just get all the free shit. They give you the free games, and I'm just not buying anything out there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like,
the sale was good, though.
Yeah.
I did grab. I didn't mention this Control.
Yeah.
Finally got Control.
Nice.
I wanna get that.
I can't believe I forgot to mention that. But I got it for $20,
Nice.
On Epic?
bro. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, their sale's over now, but they were giving away. They did the sale, and they gave you like a free $10 voucher to use in it.
Okay.
Dude.
And it was a $29 markdown. I was like, fuck, let me get this
See,
for $20.
Yeah,
That's what I like to hear, man. It shows that they're learning.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, that's the thing is the competition is good. I mean, I'm glad it's there. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like it as a game store because it doesn't have the features I want. But like, it doesn't matter. I don't
I mean, if they're giving away free games, then it's
Free games.
like, you know,
free games.
Not
do you really
punk
need to
games
return
either.
a free
yeah,
game?
Nice
good
games.
good games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
exactly. Grand Theft Auto 5, Borderlands 2, Control.
They had the Borderlands
Well,
collection.
I mean, not
bro.
Control, but I
It
mean,
wasn't
you know.
just 2. It was the Handsome Jack.
That's true.
collection.
Yeah, it was.
It was like several games. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Yeah, I did start a new playthrough. That's dangerous, man. I don't need more free games thrown at me. I already get 2 a month from PlayStation, but that's not free because it's $60 a month.
Or a
60
year.
bucks a year. Excuse me. Whereas Epic Games, you don't need to pay it all to, have access to.
Yeah.
So
That sale was fire too. I told y'all before. I want to get into it because you're
No,
talking
no,
about
no,
the game, but
no,
the
no,
Division
no,
2.
no.
I told y'all started that.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
didn't mention it's because I got it for $10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll try this for $10.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Turns out I like it or whatever. But yeah, I'm not mad at Epic over this quarantine period. They've helped me out. In
Yeah.
a nice little fashion, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Dude, yeah, same.
Yeah.
They that Grand Theft Auto 5 playthrough on computer was awesome. I tried online. I don't really like Grand Theft Auto online.
It's not great.
No,
It's not great.
This
I
is
mean-
more ridiculous. Flying cars and
The private servers are cool, but overall the game's online servers is just
the inflation in the economy and everything. It's like, the items that you can buy get more and more expensive,
Yeah.
but the value of the shark cards for in-game currency doesn't go up at all. You're still paying the same amount of real-world money for the same amount of in-game currency, even though everything's more expensive. So
you're
it's
always
like-
treading water.
yeah.
Like in that game, when I was playing it online, at least on Xbox, like years ago, it was tough to just like make money and like buy the cool shit.
Yeah.
And now I don't know. It does have a thriving community, and I think it is a phenomenon of a game. It's the highest
an
grossing
awesome-
media product of all
Awesome
time.
game, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like online, it's cool, but it's not really my style. It's fun. It's got some cool stuff. But
It really favors people who start playing online before the story.
yeah.
That's
I'm gonna need you guys to put a little more respect on the opening game from the PlayStation 5 presentation.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Game.
Yeah, so ridiculous they
Oh,
started with that.
no.
Let's just talk about that real quick. Let's just get that out. They started like they're showing a new console, a new generation, a huge leap in technical capabilities, and they're starting with a game from 5 years ago and not even
7
showing
years
new
ago.
footage. What's it said? Well, yes,
It was the
2012
end of
console.
PlayStation 3. Holy fuck! It ended the PlayStation 3 and it starts the PlayStation 5. And this was not a short console generation.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh my.
Yeah, no,
God.
it's pretty wild. But I mean, and it's
Wow.
insane though. I mean, to think that this game's been going that long.
That came out the same time as Last of Us.
And
And we're getting
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 now.
Which, okay, so I will say this. I will, if my roommate buys The Last of Us Part 2 physical, whether it's new or used, I might give it a go. Maybe I'll just watch him play it through, but I mean, I'll probably give it a go.
What if he buys the digital?
If he buys it digital, well, I gotta wait until he gets a job again. He's on that thing 24/7.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I love it because I was like, what difference does it make if he owns the game?
I was kind of on the same thing. Like,
I
this
just
is a weird
gotta.
caveat,
I guess.
bro.
I guess
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
gotta play when he's asleep. Then.
There you go.
Oh jeez.
I heard the gameplay, certain stuff about it is cool, but
I-
I just, from what I've heard about it,
Mm.
the reasons I liked the first game and rank it as one of the maybe the best narrative-based game ever made, a lot of that stuff was taken out from what I'm hearing, and I don't want to be disappointed in something that I hold in such high esteem. I'd almost just rather replay the first one if it's that drastic.
Right.
You know, and the stuff, I mean, the leaks didn't help knowing kind of where the story's going to go, but that's happened before. I would still play it if I felt it'd be
So
worth the money and the investment and the time, you know.
You did look into the leaks, you know. Yep. Did you look into the leaks? Yeah. I mean, you haven't played the first one, so I guess you shouldn't.
Yeah. I haven't, but I don't really care.
Yeah,
at this
well, I
point.
mean, it's like
I'm gonna try and play through the first one. And I'm gonna give it a shot.
Awesome.
I'm gonna just disregard like all the just bullshit. I just don't even care.
Yeah.
I just don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's like you don't have access to the second one anyway. It's like
exactly. I'm not like worried about it. Like, I'll get to it if I get to it, and it's not like I'm like, oh, it's not like on my wish list. Like, oh man, that game I wanted to play was bad, or like people don't like it.
Right.
Like it's a game. The first one I've heard is highly regarded. Second game I hear is already not even out yet, and people don't like it already for different reasons that are.
But it's still got amazing review scores despite that.
Yeah. So you got this controversy. So like, I just don't even.
Though.
Yeah.
I just don't even
reviewers
get it.
is not going that way.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing I noticed was that Polygon, which is kind of a big, it's like BuzzFeed or one of those websites. Their reviewer only gave it a 7, which kind of surprised me.
7
doesn't really surprise. I know, right?
For a first-party title, though.
Yeah.
That's one of the lowest.
Even
I
Death
guess
Stranding
that is kind of a
wasn't.
big bunch for like a AAA.
I mean, even Death Stranding wasn't having that kind of rating with any of the. Well, okay, some of them didn't. IGN. I guess IGN gave it like a 6 or something. I don't remember.
But that's Death Stranding. That was an experimental, never been done before.
Yeah.
Kojima. We already know Kojima's gonna be way the fuck out there anyway. It's gonna be love or hate with a new Kojima thing. This is a almost universally loved franchise.
Yeah.
That's the difference to me. Is like you guys.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. They're trying to use they're I don't know. They're trying to use an IP to do things that I don't know.
I guess I don't know enough to like make an opinion about it, but for most of the judgment I've seen, it's from just like a lot of people that have like anime characters as avatars on Twitter, and like it's hard for me to take their opinions seriously. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really know what's valid criticism on this, but at the same time, I'm just trying to like I'm not gonna play it right now. I'll get to it.
So okay, I guess it's like okay, I if I do play through the game, I'll talk about my thoughts on the game. But the content that what I really want to talk about, and I'm gonna save this for a separate outing for the channel one day, is what I would have done with a sequel if I were in Neil Druckmann's shoes. Because I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, man, there is real potential there for a strong narrative, and that's something.
Potential.
Like it's that it should be. It should be the focus, because I think that's a big part of what made the first game so fun, is because it's like, if you didn't care about the story, if the story was as crappy in that game as it is in like, I can't think of a good example right now. I want to say Monster Hunter World, but you guys haven't played that, so you don't know what I mean when I say that. But it's like, the story only services the gameplay. Right. So I guess a better example would be like Super Mario 64 or something like that.
No, Destiny's kind of the same way.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, and that stuff doesn't really matter. You're just there for the gameplay. And The Last of Us Part 2 is just, I mean, any Last of Us game should not be that,
No.
Yeah.
I think what the first game established is, what, if we come back to this, we're coming back to it with a story to tell that is very much worth telling, just as much, if not more, than the first game. How do you follow up the first game?
That might be their mistake, man. Well, one of two. Hard. Because that was a great story, and the way it ended, like, we didn't necessarily need to see, even though it was kind of an open-ended ending, it still was closed enough to where you knew that his goal was fulfilled.
Well, careful, guys.
We're gonna keep it.
That's why I'm keeping it vague. That's why I'm keeping it vague.
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
So what I'm saying is that it was closed and open-ended. Basically, you could have gone either way with the sequel or not.
So when you talk about Joel's goal, he didn't have that goal from the beginning necessarily, but it was essential to his arc, right? Mm-hmm. So if you were to, and I'm going to keep this spoiler free, if you were to make a sequel, you don't need something that exactly copies the first game, but you want it to be like poetry in the sense that it'll rhyme in a way, right?
Good fucking way to put it.
Yeah.
I feel that, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was beautiful, man.
That was poetic.
Yeah, thank you. So it's like, you know this much. You play as Joel in the first game, and you play as Ellie in the new game.
Right.
Why not put Ellie through some of the similar situations that Joel was put through, particularly in the ending? specifically.
Bro.
Well, but do you want to repeat?
Well, not
having played it,
I think
not
it needs to show like
exactly.
the progression of what made the
I
character.
see. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it's hard for me to like play
that's what I'm
devil's
getting
advocate
from it.
without
Yeah.
having like
Yeah.
knowing.
Yeah, because
Like-
there's certain implications with Ellie and her significance in the role of what's going on, and the choices that Joel makes, despite that, and there is a way in which you could put Ellie in a similar situation where she realizes, but at the same time sees why Joel made that choice.
Yeah, and also too, it seems like they just kind of they showed so much love. They lovingly built this whole world this time, and what I hear is it's just a whole disservice to that world in the sequel from the reviews and people. And that's my biggest gripe. And the second thing is the factions multiplayer, bro. In that first one.
Well, okay. Whoa,
incredible.
hold on. They said though that they're gonna try and they're separating it into a different thing.
So I have to pay $120.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
at the same time, I mean, if they make a more fully fleshed, developed game mode that's not just like an extension of the single player, that's more. I don't know. I know what you mean.
But so far, that's if.
Last time you got
that's fair.
both
That's
together,
fair.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's like if Halo separated the two,
Yeah.
or like if
Okay.
COD
no,
separated the two. Like,
I retract my.
I mean, I
my
wouldn't.
statement, but
I guess I wouldn't mind if Uncharted did it because I didn't play the multiplayer for Uncharted. I
Yeah.
never invested in the multiplayer for Uncharted.
that's kind of the way I feel
Well-
about it. I feel like it's mostly a single player campaign, and like I my perception of the game, looking into it, I didn't expect a multiplayer component, but I heard it was surprisingly good.
dude,
It-
it became
it
the
was-
game.
Yeah.
It was what I played on PlayStation 3 multiplayer for a long
Right.
time.
So, but
and,
like,
and
I guess
PlayStation 4 actually.
I guess it comes down to a question of development resources and like how you recoup those, and versus also like your roadmap of a product, like expanding on the game from the first one to the second one into the story. You know, you have a lot more to do with terms of like work in regards to assets and like graphical fidelity and all that other shit that makes the game
Absolutely.
good and better with today's standards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I don't know. I guess I'm giving them a pass personally because I haven't played it. I don't know,
Right.
but like it seems like if they're gonna give it more effort in like a dedicated multiplayer game, maybe it won't be full priced. I don't know, but with that same regardless, it sounds like they're giving it its due diligence to make it the best they can and make it maybe worth paying for.
Well,
extra.
I mean, I heard what they
Perhaps.
were saying on that. And I mean, I get the direction after seeing and hearing what the end result kind of amounted to.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of people's opinion, I haven't experienced myself to make my own opinion on it, but it seems like that might have been a misstep in hindsight because all things being considered, if the campaign was this, a lot of people were turned off.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the factions in there, and the people that are on factions are still going to buy the game for
See,
that.
that's
You
the
know what I
point that
mean?
I was
So
gonna
you-
make is that even if the
Yeah.
story, even if they dropped the ball story wise, had they brought the multiplayer back and lived up to the quality that they had established with the first game's multiplayer, I would still consider buying it
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
instead of used.
I definitely would be. I know several people
Yeah.
who said, "Oh, it's not part of it. That's why I was gonna buy it."
Mm-hmm.
I know, man. Matter of fact, the people I played factions with, I don't think any of them played through the story mode. They almost treated it like a lot.
Really?
It surprised me because like people are treating this game like Call of Duty. Because I know a lot of people who never played through the campaigns in those games to go straight for the multiplayer. But those are small little,
Yeah.
like you know what you're getting with that. But this is like one of the most
Yeah.
cinematic, awesome narrative-driven experiences you can have in the video game medium, and people are still like, "Nah, man, factions." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they took that out. Like,
Well,
that's
that's
a
something.
whole
I guess
segment.
that's kind of like spinning the wheels in my mind. Is like the game is presented as a first-person game. It's not often that you have a game like that with a multiplayer mode that's also successful and fun,
Mhm.
right? Like a Metal Gear Solid. Like they had Metal Gear Solid Online, and it was kind of like,
Yeah.
ugh,
Yeah.
you know. But like, it's weird that it was so successful and like people got more attached to it on either end. And I don't know. I guess we'll see how it turns out. Maybe it is like less of a full price game, more of a expansion or side or spin off.
Something.
But
That's
something
something
like
interesting to
that.
see how they do.
Kind of like
Yeah.
the whole Spider-Man Miles Morales thing. With,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
is it
yeah.
a spin-off? Is it like a DLC or there's
Yeah. Well, no, I've heard it's a full game.
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Before we get into that,
Yeah.
let me wrap up because I got a couple more things I want to talk about.
Oh, bet.
So we were talking about some other shit. I forget. I got a list here. Star Citizen. Oh yeah. Started playing Jedi Fallen Order. Got that.
Yeah.
I haven't beaten it, but I'm like 10 hours in. I'm at like one of the planets and I'm fighting one of like the big, like, dumb beast bosses, and I'm like, it got frustrating. And like with games with boss fights, I find I get tired out, and like I don't want to like go up to like a boss fight all the time and like I put them down for like a long time, and I got to get back into it.
Gotcha.
I got to give it another shot, get back in the groove.
Yep.
But I was having a lot of fun, man. It's so fun. Like the combat's great, the graphics are great, the music's great. It's all Star Wars. Love it. It's what I wanted. It's what I expected. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, Star
Nice.
Wars Souls.
Yeah. It's good to go. I'm digging it. So hopefully I'll get back to that eventually. It's in my backlog now.
I'm glad you're playing that, man. I like that game a lot. The visuals are they're sexy, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm about
Crisp.
it. Yeah.
Nice.
Then the force powers are cool. The lightsaber is fun. I like it. Yeah. So I'll report back once I've gotten back into it again.
Okay.
All right.
Then playing a little bit of Destiny 2 again. My brother got back into it. My buddy Mamo. We got into it again. So jamming on that a little bit. Not too intense, but having fun. We can get back into. But VR chat has also been a big time consumer. I've been playing a lot of VR chat, just hanging out with Red Band on his streams. So check out YouTube/Redband. I think I don't know Redband. He's Red Band.
You had me in there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Up with you. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Up in there.
It's been fun, man. I've just been hanging out. We just cause mayhem and just check out weird worlds. And it's fun. There's
That's
a nice crew.
Great
It's
time
it's
just
good.
doing that.
Yeah,
Just,
it's a blast, man.
bro, if y'all ever want to just trip out, go and you have VR and get VR.
You don't
chat,
even need VR.
It's
You can get it
true.
on desktop.
Go walk around Super Smash Brothers worlds.
Yeah.
Just do yourself a favor. You can do that. I didn't know you could do that. You can go in those places. They're full on places too.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. They got like a Bomberman world too.
Oh
Pretty dope.
man, if
Can
they
you
put
do, like,
Bomberman in
Bomberman
Smash
shit?
Bros.
It's small. It's like there's 4 players, and you spawn down to the map, and you can just lay bombs, and it just, you blow yourself up more likely than anything. But it's fun.
Yeah.
I love VR chat. I've been getting back into it now.
The Dragon Ball Z world you showed me,
Oh, dude, yeah. Did
bro.
you
I'm gonna have to check it out. That
Bro.
sounds awesome.
You do this,
Oh,
and you're
no.
doing a Kamehameha, bro. Straight up, we were having fights. We were.
It's pretty legit, and you can fly around.
Yep.
Punches, you got like
I love it when they do the
Yeah.
beam after beam. Oh my god.
Yep.
it's legit.
I
dude.
gotta get back into. I gotta start watching Dragon Ball Super. I've been. I've watched some fights on YouTube, but that's it. Honestly.
Nice.
They come out with a DBZ VR game where you.
Oh, that would be the
I'm
shit.
gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up.
Well, hey, put it out there in the universe.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna shut up.
Yeah.
Full on DBZ.
Yeah,
Let's go.
make it-
Let's go. Let
Make
me
it
be
real.
Kakarot.
Make it a thing.
Let me get out here. Dragon Ball
yeah.
Fighters VR.
I'm about it. I want it. I'll pay for it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Bandai Namco, you listening?
Let's go.
But yeah, that's I've been doing a bunch of VR chat. Last thing on the list of my personal games is Skater XL. I've been playing a shit ton of Skater
You
XL.
know
We got a
what?
clip
Yeah.
lined up for
We
this
got
one.
a clip for you
Let's
on this.
see.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead.
This is the main trailer, or like release trailer. Version 1.0 is coming out soon. It's been early access for a little while. Yeah, fuck it. Hit F.
There
Oh,
we
you
go.
got it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
pushing
no.
it too many times. That's my problem.
There you go.
Hey.
There we go.
Look at that sweet skateboarding footage.
Hey, this cut they play in this is fire. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
But it's it's great. If you like Skate, the EA Skate games, it fills that gap. I mean, I've been looking for a game that's like up to date like that for a long time. And what's so good about this is it allows modding. It's all Unity based. The engine is Unity, and you can there's templates for like textures and shit. And I've been uploading custom shirts and like decks and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Me and my brother are gonna work on building like the local Chandler skate park, and man, it's so much fun. Look at all this like sweet footy though. I mean,
when they announced this, I literally was like, "Oh shit, Skate!"
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
I really thought they were bringing Skate back.
Yeah.
It's what. Oh, by the way, did you guys see they made like a mobile skate app?
I heard
by
about it.
EA?
I haven't seen it.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
I
Play this.
Make Skate 4.
Yeah.
Make Skate 4. I'm
Nobody
angry.
cares about
I
mobile
want
skate,
EA.
man.
They're going
Come
to,
on,
though.
EA.
They're going to make Skate 4. We're
They
back.
fucking
We're returning
suck.
all of a sudden to like the age of skateboard games. The
I
Tony
know.
Hawk 1 and 2
Yeah.
remakes are coming.
Dude,
If that
Activision
kills
knows
it,
what
if the
they're doing.
Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake kills it, Skate 4 is on the fucking way. There's no way they're not going to do that.
Yeah. No, but this shit is legit. It's as fun as it looks. I mean, like it's the controls are a little bit, there's a bit
Takes
of a
some
learning
getting used to,
curve,
I
but
bet,
it's
yeah.
not. It's if you play skate, it's not that bad. It's you got left stick is left foot, right stick is right foot, and you do stuff, and then you press buttons and you do tricks.
This always reminded me of like, I don't know if you guys ever played Fight Night back in the day, but I used to love boxing video games. And Fight Night was the more realistic, like you wouldn't use the buttons, you use the analog sticks to put your left and your right punches and
Okay.
stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like that same thing where
Hell yeah.
you want to throw a hook, with whatever hand you do that motion. I always looked at skate like that, and I always appreciated that
Yeah.
more realistic and innovative approach to the controls, because anybody can hold an acceleration button.
Right.
But how's that any different than a car game?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like now you're controlling each foot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm hyped. Thank
Yeah.
you for
It's-
having this
yeah.
age come back, because it's good for games, but also for music. The soundtracks of those games are always fucking amazing.
Well, I will say Skater XL has no soundtrack at the moment, as far as I know.
oof.
Oh,
Yeah.
it still hasn't been officially released. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. As far as I know, at the moment. But, put it on Spotify, join my private server, jam out.
Let's do that, bro.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Let's move on to the big dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
PS5 reveal stuff
PlayStation
this week.
5.
We got a lot of clips lined up. I think we should just
Go ahead,
kind of
pick one. Which one we want?
go
We
through-
got.
Let's take a look.
Zach, whoever, pick one. Which one we go?
Spider-Man.
So, Spider-Man.
All right, boom, Spider-Man. Here we go.
All right.
I know I'm not Zach, but
Oh shit! Go full screen on this beast. I'm so happy this happened so fast. That last Spider-Man game wasn't
Yeah.
that long ago, and
No.
it was
No.
so fun.
No,
Yeah,
it
and
seems
we're
like
already
they-
getting this at the end of this year, so
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah,
It almost felt like a pipe dream, hoping it'd be a launch title. And we got Miles, so you can go invisible. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, they just did. They chose correctly. Like doing Miles Morales. Like
They had,
the Spider-Verse was so sick.
Man,
they had already
that's
set
my
up for
favorite
it in that
Spider-Man
last
one.
Spider-Man game on
Oh.
PlayStation 4. So, I mean, they
Yeah.
introduced him as a character and everything.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
okay.
did, yeah.
I didn't play it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's actually entwined through that whole story. It's pretty
Nice.
cool.
and
Okay,
Into
fuck
the
yeah.
Spider-Verse had come out, so this costume design is already kind of established and familiar. And
yeah.
Spider-Verse is my favorite Spider-Man movie now. I think that was
Oh.
really good.
Yeah, it's so good.
But
The sunflower. That's all I can say right now.
man, that game was so fun. This is gonna be awesome. And the story for it was good.
Now, one of the big things I'm excited for is the new technology with the PS5 is going to enable this game to be better, because they had to slow down the web slinging because of the hard drive loading speed from the PS4.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It's like, I hate seeing a game like design idea get limited by hardware. Like
Yeah.
it's like you want to do it, but like you gotta pare it down, and that
Honestly,
happens, and that makes sense in a lot of cases. But
Even like playing Sekiro on PlayStation 4, like you could, if you wanted to, you could navigate through the world fast enough that the game kind of the
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 had trouble kind of keeping up with it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably almost certainly not the case on computer, but
well, it depends on their hard drive though, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. I'm glad consoles are finally getting up to solid state
oh
technology.
yeah, that's gonna be
And they're also getting like a good leap. They're not just like getting like SATA SSDs. They're getting like Gen 4 PCIe SSDs with good
Yeah.
controllers.
Shit,
Like,
we can't even get yet for our
yeah,
shit.
at least until like no. Here's the thing: is PCIe 4 motherboards are available now. There's only a few of them. There's not a lot, like between the different brands and whatnot.
I'm not
and
talking about the
chipsets.
motherboard. I'm not the actual hard drive they're using.
No, I know, but that hard drive is the technology that makes it so good is PCIe Gen 4.
But didn't they do so? I mean,
and they have custom technology for the memory controller within it as well, and that's another layer. That's another layer. But it's I don't think that in itself is so much of a step up in critical performance scenarios to write home about. I think it's more of a OS fluidity thing. As well as it is definitely going to help in game performance as well. Like for example, we'll show in a minute. Put on fucking Dexter. Ratchet and Clank. yeah.
Nice drop though. Shit.
Yeah.
Little Naughty Dog action.
Yeah. Put on Ratchet and Clank. That's a game that I think really shows like the SSD technology because it's able to access more of the memory really instantaneously with like the dimensional shift shit.
Yeah. That was definitely the best example of that.
Yeah.
And they were just hopping through those risks. This shit looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
The last Ratchet and Clank game was so fun too, man. I didn't think it can go up from there. It's kind of crazy to think about how long this franchise has been around too. Ratchet and Clank's been out for a minute, man. PS2.
It appears that the dimensions are collapsing on one another. If we cannot get to
Right, the ship. I mean, we can't be that far.
You guys watch Future Man?
They have found us, Ratchet.
Who?
Future Man?
Yeah.
Showing who the storyline kind of reminds me of that. What they're doing.
Nice. I haven't finished season 4, but I've seen like the first 6 or 7 episodes.
Oh, that show gets a lot better as it goes too. Like this right here. Not only do you see them going, but you see all the fractals it showed for all the other worlds too. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Unbelievable.
And what's cool about this, and the Digital Foundry video I was watching earlier,
Well, it is certainly not good.
this looks real time. You see it like kind of hitch in a
Just
couple
a
points,
slight
just a little
little
bit,
bit, yeah.
which
Exactly.
is encouraging because it's like, oh, that's not just like a pre-rendered like.
That actually looks like gameplay.
Yeah.
Not only that, this is how they're doing it before they even release the game in this
Yeah,
gen.
exactly.
And they get so much better with the technology as the generation progresses.
Yeah.
They're gonna get seamless with that.
Oh man, that's so true.
Ratchet. We are too late. Ratchet?
Who?
Spider-Verse action right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rift apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, let's dive in. What else we got? We got. Did you get Project Athia on there?
Oh, I did. It's
Yeah.
here.
Now this is one. Personally, I'm curious about, but Square Enix has a, they start projects and then you don't hear about them for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're almost the worst at that, dude.
Yeah.
But this looks cool though. I like how it's not fucking Final Fantasy again. Like I love Final Fantasy, but like, dude, you got like 15 of them.
15.
We got 7 released right now too. We're good.
Yeah, you got enough Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
You don't need to make the Final Fantasy again. Not saying
The final.
not the Final Fantasy. You can keep making Final Fantasies. Don't make the last one now, but like, you can stop for a minute.
Also, too, do you guys remember back in the 90s with Square, where they had like Xenogears, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Vagrant Story?
Chrono
They were just spitting
Trigger.
out different Parasite Eve, which would be
Right.
dope for them to bring back. They
Yeah.
were just having so many awesome different RPG series that were each of themselves
Yeah.
different styles of RPG. You know what I mean? And it's cool. Hopefully, this is something that's bringing them back to that, where they're starting to get.
We got a
shit.
battery already.
Oh shit! Oh.
Going out.
Oh, we may need to call guys.
Oh.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Shit. That's what. Yeah. I didn't have the power equipment. Sorry.
Is there any possibility of alternative power cords being used? Is it proprietary? They can probably still hear me transmitting the audio. So apologies on the battery situation with the camera. If we remedy it, you'll see us in a minute. If not, you'll see us soon. But